Lads, good morning. Hope everyone is good. It mightn't be the best time to be trying to start a video, but it was the camera was beside me, so I said let's get stuck into it. I'm just here cycling my bike. The belly is out, lad. You know, like, I'm fucking comfortable in my own skin these days, which is a first for a very long time. Even sitting now at 94 kilo. Weight is holding at 94 kilo. Finally, well, we'll see over the next couple of days. It's just kind of hovering there with the current level of food that we're on, current level of output, drugs, everything I'm doing, right? Weight is there holding at 94, which is something I've been kind of like waiting for a long time. And I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with where we're at for 94 kilo. Obviously, 94 is like solid, the heaviest I've been since coming down in mid 2024 from 105. So when I was, coming down from 105 down to 85, that jump that we did, I haven't been 94 since like around then. But all is good. Body composition, I'm happy with. Obviously, strength in the gym, very, very happy with. I will run through today. Today's rest day, and I'm looking at a little bit of a deload coming here now within the next week because the body is absolutely battered. But I think today we'll run through the day and also the progressions that we've made since, I suppose, kicking off the off season. I also do have a recovery session with my man Jonah today. I hope his hands are fresh and I hope his hands are fucking ready to go, because I am broke up. I'm very, very broke up. Everything, lads, in the last week has just hurts. Do you know what I mean? Like, just joints are just absolutely rolled off. Like, I'm just sore. Do you know what I mean? Like, getting into movements in the gym, I'm just bollocksed. And I suppose ever since we finished up the shows, finished up prep, I haven't really taken any proper time off training. I just went out the show like here and just, ramped up training ever since. Which probably wasn't the smartest thing, but if we nip it in the bud here now, which is something I don't want to do really, but I think I should, by doing a deload, should allow us to just continue pushing on then for the rest of this first push. So that's where we're at. 94 kilo this morning, again on the button. I'm sweating like a pig. Cardio is going down. Cannot stress the importance of cardio. You might be doing your cardio watching this now. If you're missing cardio, pull your shit together, man. Pull your shit together and get it done. And at a good intensity as well. Get it done. And then we'll be in for a couple more steps. I've 2k steps done already. I'm just doing a little bit of work down the walking pad. And then we'll have a few walks. We'll have more steps on the walking pad. We'll do some work. We'll eat some meals. It's a nice rest day. It's a nice rest day. Yesterday we pulled 5 plates again off the ground. What's that, 220 kilo? For 5 reps. Last week we pulled it for 4. I wasn't even going to stiff leg yesterday. But the estrol hit the system. The pre-workout creamer ice hit the system. And we were ready to pull from the floor then. And I'm sleeping a lot at the moment as well, which is important. I'm getting good sleep and meals are going in. Digestion's in a really good spot. I'm happy. We'll run through everything today, as I said, where we're at with photos this week. Food-wise, on a rest day again, as always. And yeah, sit back, relax. Enjoy. I'm going to get cardio wrapped up. Drop the video like, subscribe, lads, support the channel. I appreciate everyone coming on here as always. You see that sweat there, that's what you want. Booby sweat. When it comes to, like, lads, the pumps at the moment are just mad. A part of that will be from, again, GH pre-workout. I'm using L-carnitine pre-workout. Obviously just keeping, keeping body comp where it's at. The pumps are just painful. Like I go to pose after every upper body session and it's just sore. Like getting into poses is just fucking sore. I was thinking to myself, like if I had that kind of a pump when I was, you know, getting ready to step up on stage this year, it'd be class. But next time. Also going to talk a little bit on today, just my thoughts as well with a couple of things that I might try out as well coming soon. Lad, there is fucking no better feeling than finishing a cardio session. You know, when you're that first 5-6 minutes in, you're like, how am I going to do this? Like, oh, just like, should I stop? You finish that cardio session, then the feeling is fucking mint, isn't it? And another box ticked. And it's all about, every single day, just ticking the boxes, box by box. Like getting to the end of the day, just being like, nice. Every box ticked. You know, that kind of way. That's the way it should be anyway, if you want to make progress. And we are all here in a game of wanting to make as much progress as we can. What is the story? Cooking up the old breakfast. Got some pepper, lad, got some onion, got the egg whites, spinach. The weather at the moment is kind of just like, it's very dark and dull. You know, and that's where things can get a little bit shitty and just like, effort. Do you know, that kind of way. But that's the joys of it. I'm looking forward to some mince today as well. Myself and Dan did the food shop yesterday, as always. We work just for, I do at the moment anyway, I work basically just to give it to Lidl every week. Usually every Tuesday we do the old food shop because Dan is with me most of the time. But I'm looking forward to some mince. We did these like medallion steaks, which are actually really nice last night. Because you know a steak is usually like a fillet steak or a sirloin steak, which is lovely. Obviously quite high in fats. And I just wanted to like have a lean fucking, you know, replacement to my usual chicken or mince. I'm looking forward to having some mince today. We did the medallion steaks last night. They were lovely. And food has been going down really well. Like I said, pull back a small bit on the veg and shit like that, and just like bloating and digestion has improved that little bit more, which is good. But still keeping the veg, you know, relatively high, like probably very high to what a lot of people might think. But food, as I said, is going to stay put here now, where we're at right now. On a training day, obviously 550 carb, 280 protein, 50 fat, and then rest days 400 carb, and just higher fat then as well. But when it comes to fats, you know, sometimes I like the higher fat, but then you're kind of thinking like, what am I meant to have? You know, because you're just so used to having like lean meats, and then your carb source, and then you're just like, to add a fat source to this here now, you know, that kind of way. But like the extra fats are good in ways. Someone asked me the last day why I keep fats so low. It's because, you know, I don't need, compared to a natty person, I don't need really as much like fats going in, because when I'm at a baseline, hormonally I'm not relying on fats, do you know, that kind of way, as such, too much. Obviously certain fats, but I'm not relying on them as much as someone who's natural. And then also supplementing with our omega-3s. Also get my morning subs, my health subs at the moment, get them sorted. I have been using, with a lot of meals, betaine HCl, lads, for basically digestive enzyme. And also berberine, which is like a GDA. Berberine, that's in itself, and that's also in the Ensure then that I use as well sometimes. And then obviously just everything in there then as well. So yeah, that's where we're at. Food, as I said, staying put. We will do update a full day of eating again, but I'm happy. I'm happy where things are at. Like I'm getting just more comfortable, I suppose, in my own skin. Do you know, kind of way, because I was kind of like there for a week. I was kind of like, ugh. Do you know that way? But now I'm like, no, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad, lad. Lads, egg whites. You just cannot go wrong with actual egg whites. Omelette, bosh. Veg, paprika, cumin. Also, lads, I saw these last week. Nico actually sent them on to me yesterday. He was like, lad. And I saw them last week. I just didn't get them because I didn't need them. Look at the sauerkraut. I usually just have plain sauerkraut. Look at the sauerkraut that I got yesterday in the shop. Sauerkraut, yeah. Smoked paprika and chipotle. Had it last night in my dinner. nice, like, nice. They're all the small little things. Obviously, the benefits to sauerkraut, kimchi. See how dark it is, man. That's fucking sad. The sauerkraut, the kimchi and everything, but just enjoyment side of things then as well. Do you know, like, make your meals bloody enjoyable. Put that little bit of effort into your meals. You're cooking them anyway. It only takes an extra minute or two to actually just, like, cut up a bit of veg, you know, and not be a dickhead. Get your micronutrients in and make food actually tasty, you know. I shouldn't need to use a bloody light in broad daylight in the morning time to see me cooking food, but this is the breakfast. You know, on my rest days, I was doing bread as well, but just the oats, lads, they just slap. Like, this is probably my favourite meal of the day. We've got the eggs and we've got the oats, and that is meal number one. Meal number one every day now. Well, this is actually the first rest day that I've done this, because I usually have the bread, but I was just like, ugh, I'd rather just have a nice big dirty bowl of oats. And there we go, breakfast done. You know, when you finish the meal, you know, when you're looking forward to the meal, then you finish the meal, you're like, oh, I need to go back to it now, lad. That food goes down so good. Every meal really goes down really well at the moment, which is good. On that note, I was just thinking in regards to, like, macros and everything like that as well. You know, if there's anyone thinking, you know, like, why is his protein and stuff so high at 280 grams? Because, you know, a lot of the foods you'll eat, like, even just there, like with the peanut butter and stuff, you know, like, I get a little bit of peanut or protein from the peanut butter, we'll say, because the peanut butter is my fat source. Like, if you're eating bagels, you're eating bread, you know, bagels have like 9 grams of protein per bagel. It's not real protein, you know what I mean? It's not like protein you get from chicken. It's not protein you get from your whey. So there is a lot of trace protein coming. So that's why I suppose I'm not eating bagels or anything. I'm looking forward to a bagel at some point, but my appetite is just too high for a bloody bagel. Mightn't be in the next couple of weeks, but just take note of that. You know, you want protein nice and high, and obviously it's going to keep you fuller as well. Higher protein, satiation. Again, protein or carbs are protein sparing, so as carbs get super high, there isn't always the need for as much protein. But like I said there, because carbs are a lot higher, your trace protein goes higher then as well, so it's just naturally going to be that little bit higher then as well. So yeah, get this in. That's done, I should say. Get on the walking pad here now, back to work. I've one check-in to do, and then I am in for massage with Jonah in a couple hours as well, which is fucking hell, lad. I just cannot wait for that. Like, I just cannot wait for that. It's been a long time, so I'm looking forward to him just giving me a beating. It's going to be painful, I know. It's going to be painful, but like I said, like, this time is the most important time for me to be getting tissue work done. Not back when I was back when I was prepping, but now when the body is most fucked. So, like, blood can continue. Like, that'll be another reason, you know, it's like, because blood needs to be able to flow around the muscle. Like, the more blood you have in the muscle, the easier things are going to be, the more muscle you're going to build. Simple as. And a lot of the time, I thought someone was driving in. I always think someone's driving in there. But a lot of the time, it's just like that restriction, you know, and that's because you're not getting blood in there to the muscles. So it's just about him being able to get blood flowing through the muscles, and I feel a lot better from that as well. And it's just now keeping that up that little bit more often. You know, I let that slip there for a little bit. And with the way training has gone, like, Jonah hasn't been working on me since 30 kilo ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of weight. Well, not quite 30, but he'll probably look at me and think, Jesus, lad, what the fuck happened to you? You fat bastard. But I just need to keep that up, because it'll allow training to continue to improve, which is going to allow progress to move that little bit quicker. You know what I mean? It's just all those little things that come into play then. Like training, food, making the most of the food, making the most of being on cycle, making the most of this, all coming into one. All coming into one. Another one, pick me up. We finished up the Wednesday lot. And that check-in's done for the week. So check-ins across Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right now. And then just get all those days full, like Monday's full, Tuesday, more room there, Wednesday, more room there, obviously being a rest day then as well. And that's the way I'm kind of working with things there then. And like I was saying to you last week, I just want to get better with just being on top, like, you know, the kind of just admin-y kind of shit then as well that needs to be done to kind of run a business, I suppose, as good as you possibly can. But Steve's checking. One of the lads over in Oz at the moment, right? This is where we were at when we started, lads. Okay. Like, I just pulled up one photo there, and this is what he currently bloody looks like from the side. Look at that. Look at that. So obviously, Australian summer is what, in like November and December kind of time. That's when we'll be kind of kicking in. So he's going to be ready for that, and that is what we said when we started up. Was we are going to be ready for going on little trips during Australian summer, etc., etc., and that's where he is now. Like, we still have just more to play with, and more to go, and it's just with him obviously doing FIFA as well. So he's flying in and flying out like every 2 weeks. Not the easiest thing, but he's getting it done because he's just showing up on a daily, on a weekly, and just ticking the boxes, just doing what he needs to do. But while we're on that, Dan's actually home now as well, so we're going to get out and take the dog for his walk. So that is done as well. This is my check-in for the week. I was actually very, very happy, I'm not going to lie, with this shot from the back double bicep, and I actually compared it as well then. I put it on my story earlier on in the week. For updates and stuff, lads, and what I'm doing on a daily basis, make sure you're following the Instagram. But this was shots for the week. I was actually, content, like happy. There is shots there that, like, I hate my front double, to be honest. I just don't like that. That's a shot that needs a lot of work for whatever reason. I just don't. But like, even side shots and stuff, like, we're still holding, do you know what I mean? We're still holding, like, glutes and everything still have like good detail in there, I suppose you could say. Like, midsection obviously like isn't very impressive, but we're still like holding that kind of shape. Do you know what I mean? When I say that kind of way, fucking what's this called? Lat spread. Jesus. So man I am. But this was the shot that I compared, right? That's my front lat, or my head is fried. My back double bicep, like, especially like this is where the deadlifts now, lads, are coming into play, right? The glutes. Right, hold on now. Right, look at that. Okay, and this is, I'll do this because this is what I did on my Instagram. Back here, okay, this is where it goes to show that you just keep up doing your check-ins. Back here when we started pushing, where is it? Somewhere here now. Not that one. This shot here. This is when we started the off season. Compare that to this. Okay. So that was back at the very last week of August. Okay, like, man, not a glute in sight. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the back, the density in the back. Here's where we are this week. I'm happy with that. And that's where, you can get caught up in thinking like things isn't happening, body composition is getting really sloppy, etc., etc. But that's why photos are the king at the end of the day. Like, obviously we've gained so much weight. There's actually only like 10 kilos in the difference there. Not even, like 9.5 kilos in the difference there. But I'm happy with that 9.5 kilos, you know what I mean? So that's where it's just about putting in the reps on the daily. Like, if I hadn't been training as training has been over the last number of weeks here now between those shots, what would the difference be? I'd probably be a lot sloppier, a lot more body fat on me, and not the muscle there. Do you know what I mean? But obviously there is a good bit of body fat going on in that time frame as well. But definitely a good chunk of muscle going on there as well. And I was saying, I'd be worried if there isn't a good bit of muscle. With the current setup that I have, obviously, with peak and everything, I'd be worried if there wasn't muscle being built. I'd have to take a good, long, hard look at myself. And like I was saying on an update as well, because I do a weekly check-in on the Instagram every week, just keep, again, like here with G, accountability, was that, like, I will get bloods done again, like, halfway through this push. So obviously when we're, like, at peak with everything, well, maybe not peak, but, like, where we're at with everything, and just see where bloods are at. Obviously, focusing on things like with my health supplements at the moment, I'm putting a bigger emphasis on liver supplementation, obviously kidney supplementation there. I've ordered cardiac from Engineer Muscle, which I want to get in there. Riz's stuff, I've been saying to you, I did want to try, and it's just about, not being a dick with stuff like that, and just making sure you're staying on top of it. If you're willing to spend money on gear, you need to be willing to spend more even on health supplementation, because usually it is more expensive. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're talking about GH and stuff. But I'm also trialing now as well some Metal in Blue. I did use a little bit of Metal in Blue coming out of the show through Elevate Supplements, Niall Kenrick's Metabolic Booster. I did use that. I don't know if I ever told you that, which had some SLU. It had some Meth Blue, and it had some 5-amino-1Q as well. Now, low doses of it, but I am going to, for the like, mainly just like to keep me like switched on, like keep things moving here now over the next little while with like my cognitive side of things, the methylene blue. And I am very tempted to put back in some SLU as well and see how things go with that. And just see, like, if we were to put in, right, and it would be a good thing to kind of see with us here. If I was to put in some SLU here now, and then put in Met Blue, again, more so the SLU, I suppose. Maybe the GHKCU as well to focus more on my skin, because I've seen a couple of lads who've used that, and like the skin is good off it, do you know what I mean? Alongside like just being smart with your hygiene, obviously being a big part. But I'm looking at maybe putting in some of that. We'll see. And just seeing what happens. Like if I was to keep food the exact same, expenditure the exact same, and put them in, what return will we get from that to see what it is? Because they're not the cheapest things in the world, but if it prolongs the longevity of this and it's worth it to me and I'm seeing a return from it, I would do it. And obviously with that as well then, GH and everything is up. GH is at 6 IU every single day. I'm not too sure that I say that, so it's obviously a good dose of GH as well. So 3 pre-workout, 3 pre-bed is what I've been doing, and that's what I've been saying. The pumps in the gym are fucking lawless. And then I will be trialing as well. Come soon, I will be trialing some insulin as well through Lantus in the background, and then probably a little bit of Nova Rapid then as well, just to see how we get on. But that will come when food is that little bit higher, to see where things are at. Because like insulin sensitivity and stuff is obviously still great. Other thing there that you could try, like it's a big can of worms, and one of the lads who I'm working with at the moment wants to trial some stuff as well, which I've absolutely no issue with either. And one of those things was Reda. So that is something there as well. There is an opportunity to look into that as time goes along. But it's at the end of the day just cost and stuff and how much you're willing to spend. Do you know what I mean? And it's a big can of worms that you can get stuck into. But I'm at that point now where, again, I'm in control of things. I want to trial things. I'm spending a lot on my education. I'm putting a lot into my education. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what return we can get from it, you know, and see what can be done. Like, as I said to you, I want to see what progress can be made up until just Christmas time here now. That's all I'm focused on. Like, if we are looking here at everything that I'm doing at the moment, we've got, from the original plan set out, 13 and a half weeks left of this push. A lot can be done in those 13 and a half weeks. I'm en route to Jonah's. It's a good few hours later now, to be fair. Had some more food going in. Had some more work going on. Got the dog walked and stuff there a while ago. Got some more steps done on walking pad after meals. Lads, if you want, like, I'm really do recommend just having a walking pad. Even though, like, I get a lot of steps done from, like, just out with the dog and stuff every day. Just for bodybuilding efficiency, right? If you're on it, like, with, like, eating 5 or 6 meals a day, just after every meal, like, I'm on that walking pad. And it's a big reason why my digestion's in such a good spot is from being on that walking pad, just moving after a meal, you know, and just not letting that food sit around and just making the most of it. But I'm en route to Jonah, as I was saying earlier. Can't wait till he sees me, because, like, he hasn't seen me in nearly 30 kilos, and he's going to be looking at me thinking, Jesus. But yeah, I'm like a kid at Christmas thinking about going to see him, because I was going to him every week at the back end of prep, and today is the start of it here now. Getting locked back into it again, because it's going to just pride me forward, if that's the word. Probably not, in terms of being able to recover from the training that we're doing at the moment, and just allow me to, like, move a lot better, because I can feel it, you know. I can feel it, the niggles that I went with him back at the very beginning under my arm, you know, all kind of a lot of shoulder kind of stuff, very tight chest. As I was saying to you this morning, when that stuff is looser, you can do more with it. It's going to equal more muscle. Small thing, but it will. I'm going to get to Jonah, enjoy it, enjoy the pain, and then I'll let you know what we get on after. I knew what I was getting myself into, but I'm glad I went. I feel like my bicep feels like it's after like a fucking 7 or 8 hour just constant pump. My neck is broke up. I feel like I'm after doing a 100 reps of knee raises from putting the machine, like he puts the machine on me. If you've been watching the channel for a long time, he puts that FSM treatment all over the body. So basically, full body treatment done, and should allow us, like, that might be the thing that like will just allow me to get stuck back into training again next week and not take any time off. Maybe not the smartest thing to do, but we'll see. We'll see. that side of things is definitely one that I've learned this year, which we all neglect. It's even like Dan, you know, saying I need to go for a massage, because with her work every day, she's hunched over as well, and it's all postural kind of work that Jonah does with me as well. It's one thing that I would put a level of, you know, focus on, importance on with your physique development. You know, if we're to break things down, it would be one of the more important things, and it's the one thing, you know, that we all just, you know, I did it there again for a while, just pushed off to the side. And yeah, I know it's an expense at the end of the day, but you can really warrant it when you actually understand the benefits of it. From you going a lot more consistently, you know, a couple of times a month maybe, instead of going once every fucking 5 or 6 months when you're like, oh, I need to go for a massage, you're not getting anything. Except, I'm explaining that to Dan last week, you're not getting anything from going to your one fucking once every 6 months, you know? If you keep that up consistently, you're going to have the benefits from it, girl. That's what I was saying to her. And, you know, if we're to break things down in order of importance, I suppose you could say, when it comes to bodybuilding, physique development, if you're thinking about it now and you're trying to budget, I suppose, as well, you know, what we do is not the cheapest thing in the world. To build muscle, you know, to put muscle on the frame is not cheap. And if you're doing it the way I'm doing it now, I suppose, it's another level altogether. But in the grand scheme of things, right, first thing I'd look at, obviously, is our membership to the gym. Like I keep saying, the only way to actually build muscle is to go in there and break the muscle down, right? The gym is the only place you can do that, realistically, right? Unless you're doing body weight at home. Then I'd be looking, obviously, at my food, yeah? But food will come after training, because any food going into the body is going to do the job, okay? I'd look at my quality of food, putting good quality food into me every single week. You know, spending good money on your food shop, not being stupid, you can do it very, very cheaply, but just good quality, single ingredient foods. After that then, obviously, you know, you can go down the route of, if you're going assisted or whatever, which is just a can of worms, like I said this morning, that you can look into. But you can do that very, you know, on a budget too. But as I said, you can put, you know, the PEDs to one side and then the health side to another side. So if you're ever considering that, and we'll do a video at some stage on all the considerations that should go into that, blood work, you know, like, you just have to break it all down. After that, you know, and even before that, for my guys, I would say the recovery side of things. Obviously, sleep is going to be your best friend, and it's fucking free. But looking into that kind of, you know, massage, deep tissue work, even what Jonah does there, the FSM, rebalance massage therapy, I'm pretty sure is his Instagram. If you want to check him out, I would really, really recommend doing that. And then just keeping it up consistently. That's me saying that on here now, that I will be keeping it up consistently to see the benefits that we do get from that on a week-to-week basis. I'm going to get another meal into me in a few minutes. Just came home, a couple of steps, because I was tired after getting off the bed. And if I just sat down in front of the laptop, I'm going to be fucking tired. So a couple of steps, get the step count up, get meal 3 into me now as well. Cream of rice, lad. And then back on the laptop, back on the walking pad for a few minutes. Steps will probably be wrapped up then pretty much. And then also later this evening as well, I want to get the grass cut. Grass hasn't been cut now too long, and I'm not going to get too many more cuts out of it for the year. And just a little bit of work on the outside of the house to tidy that up a little bit. Herself keeps the place on the inside clean. I don't, but I will. I will be better at keeping the outside clean as well, lad. Now, this is how you do a rest day. This is how you do it. In all seriousness, though, boys, this is when the muscle is being built. You know, like, apart from today, Joan obviously, you know, working on me. You're not breaking down any muscle. This is the one chance from, like, the minute you leave that gym the day before to the minute you get in the gym tomorrow, like, the body is not being broken down. The muscle has not been broken down, so it has its best chance. Like, this is when the muscle is being built. Couple of minutes. We've got the rest day cream of rice. I have 2 bowls of cream of rice tonight, or today I should say. One pre-bed as well, which I'm looking forward to. And then dark chocolate, the usual fruit, peanut butter, sludge, blah, 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 blah. It's sludge as well. All you newcomers calling it whey bloody drip. Whey drip, it was sludge originally, right? Like back in the day, lad. Back in the day, sludge. And I just continued to call it sludge. Then it was whey paste, and now it's fucking whey drip. Bloody whey drip, lad. But we're going to get that into us, and then we'll see. Story, boys. What is the story? It is late. It is quite late. It's probably nearly 8 o'clock. But I'm just about to have my dinner. It is 7:30, not quite 8 o'clock. Wash myself, grass cut, all that crack. You know yourself. Just had a inquiry for coaching as well. From Dan, actually. You know, a lot of people that have signed up for coaching have been like, through Dan. You know, people that Dan knows and shit like that. So that's how it's done, boys. That's how it's done. Last thing I want to speak about was just in regards to like the self-coaching, that whole thing at the moment as well, because there will be a lot of people that watch this like who don't have a coach. Obviously I've had coaches for fucking years at this point, you know, and like I do see merit to always, you know, having some form of a coach in life, like regardless of what way it is, you know, and I've got my coaches with different stuff, do you know what I mean? But like when we're talking this side of things in terms of coaching, in terms of how I'm getting on with everything, with my own coaching at the moment, I'm just really enjoying it. Like I'm really, really enjoying it, and that's the reason for it. If I wasn't, and it was like a problem, and it was like really pissing me off, etc., etc., I just wouldn't be doing it. Like I have my lads there that like when the time does come, it's like let's get things moving, and they know that themselves as well. In regards to who it would be, but I'm just really enjoying it at the moment, you know. And like if when and if the time does come, then at the same time, like I was chatting to one of the lads the other day, I was saying like I'd love to prep myself as well to see how and if I could do it. You know, I would absolutely love that. But it just takes, like, just really, like you see there with me on Kahunas and stuff every single week. It takes just keeping that up, all that kind of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know if you're not a coach coaching other people and you're trying to coach yourself, like, just same thing, man. It's just like taking the photos and all that kind of crack. But there's just so much that goes into it, you know, in the thought process. Like I coach myself like the exact same way in terms of the way I coach a client. You know, is go through the data. Like I write down, like obviously fill out the same thing that I'm filling, like that clients are filling out every single week for me and every single day. When I track my body weight in the morning, I go into Kunas, I put in my body weight, put in how much hours I slept, how was food yesterday, how much cardio I did, how many steps I did, like all that shit. You know what I mean? Not just a case of like just taking pictures and being like, yeah, things are alright, like actually doing the feedback, you know, but doing fucking blood glucose, fucking blood pressure, like all this shit, like I'm just not getting lazy with any of that, because if I do start slipping on that kind of stuff, start getting lazy with that kind of stuff, that's when things go downhill. But I think we're on a little bit of an uphill in terms of momentum here, like especially just in the last week, to be honest, and me saying that now is going to make me be on it that little bit more even, you know. And it's just a case of just being like, because the accountability factor is there in terms of like not only myself but like having people online and like just showing up, being like, you know, like I'm here to walk the walk now. As much as you're talking the talk, lad, you need to walk the walk with the actions off camera, you know, like the meal that I'm just about to eat now, even though like no one in the world is going to see, like that needs to be a fucking good meal, do you know what I mean? Not just taking the piss with it. Same when I'm doing like my cardio and stuff. Like you're not going to see me doing my cardio every single morning, but doing my steps, just keeping that shit up. Like we're on 15,500 steps today, okay? And like that's just all those small little things that need to keep up. And as I said, I'm content with where things go and the whole setup with what I'm doing at the moment, because it can, as I said, get like a bit of a head fuck in terms of making decisions, everything. But I think that's just things like you go through and stuff when it comes to like deciding, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? And when you have a clear vision of where you want to go and the why of where you want to go there, I think it makes it easier as well. A lot of time you can just get kind of stuck in limbo, and that would be a case then. I'd be like, right, you know, too fat here now, going to cut back down, and then start bollocksing, cutting down, and then I'm like, fuck this, and I'm start pushing back up again because I just get like hungry or something, and I've nothing to really be working towards. But I'm locked into that goal there now at the moment. I've X amount of weeks left so far planned in this push-up. That might change, as I said. Again, same goes for cycle, like being on track with all of that. As I said, I do want to, you know, trial and test a couple of things here now over the next couple of weeks. I'll be able to relay my feedback to you then as well, see how things go with that. That's what this channel's all about, man. Just being able to share it all with you, you know, and get it across here. And obviously, I just love chatting. I love chatting about it all. I love documenting the whole process. And if you enjoy that too, that's what it's all about, you know. Follow along. As always, lock the fuck in, lad. Get that cardio done. If you're finished your cardio session now, if you're eating a meal, enjoy it, and then get yourself back to work. And drop this video a like. Support the channel as always. Coaching link in the description below. Again, you can always just send me a message. You want to help with something, you want to just reach out, you just want to have a chat, you know exactly where I am as well. That's a big part of it too. You know, it's a big part of it, of lads that, you know, just look for a little bit of reassurance on stuff, you know, and that's a big thing as well. One of the lads who'll be watching this last week is like looking for that little bit of reassurance, like that he's on his shit, you know, at the moment, but he's just like finding it hard to like take a step back and just relax a small little bit. And that was just simple as just going for a couple of pints. Like my reassurance for him to like just get out, go for his couple of pints, allowed him to go and do that, enjoy it, and then just get straight back on the wagon then next day. Do you know what I mean? Not go on this big bender, because that's just not something he does, but just for him to like have someone else there to be able to say, yeah, it's actually a good thing for you to go and do that and just unwind and de-stress and then get back on it. Do you know, it's the same with people like in terms of food, and I'll have clients who are like so on it in terms of that. It's just like being able to go and tell them, go and do that. It's even for myself, just shit like that, man. You know, like never be afraid to reach out. It's what we're all here to do, is fucking drive each other along, bring each other along. That's what bodybuilding, that's what this whole kind of thing that we do is all about as well. See you in the next one.